Very good morning to all the participants who joined this 1 hour webinar on entrepreneurship. I am Dr. G. Karusamy, Dean Research and Innovations, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. I welcome all of you on behalf of my college. Dear participants, today definitely we are impressed, we are excited. The reason is when we announced the webinar on entrepreneurship, we thought the registrations may not be so good like other subjects. But to our surprise, this webinar, entrepreneurship webinar, got an overwhelming response. I think close to 2,000 registrations came for our webinar on entrepreneurship. We are extremely happy. We feel definitely impressed. Maybe now the present day students are looking for entrepreneurship. This is the message we get from the number of registrations we got on this topic. Coming back to the topic, students today, they take up a degree program, let's say BE BTech program, 4-year degree program. At the end of 4 years, they have 3 options. They can go for placement, they can go for higher studies, and they can go for entrepreneurship. And I'm sure in every college, they talk about these 3 topics. But normally, 95% of the students, they always look for placement, job only. 95%. This is a tradition in every college. Every student, they want to go for only placement. They are looking for the best possible package, salary, company, and they get settled. And about 4 to 5% of the student, they are looking for higher studies. They start preparing from the first year onwards. They always say, sir, after my program, after my BE BTech program or BSc BA program, I am looking for higher studies. I always want to go for higher studies. I don't want to stop my study with bachelor degree. So they keep preparing for GMAT, TOEFL, GRE, and GATE examination, CAT examination, MAT examination. Like this, they keep preparing, and they always want to go for higher studies. Normally about 4 to 5%. So 95% of the students are interested in the placement. Another 4 to 5% of the students are interested in higher studies. Then what is left with for the entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship program, normally in our experience, about 1% of outgoing students. If there are 1,000 students passing out, hardly 1%. 10 students, they very boldly say, yes, sir, we want to go for entrepreneurship. And that is the kind of situation today. So this is the reason, actually, we used to say entrepreneurship, definitely when we announce a webinar, we used to think that this webinar, probably students may think this is not my area. But today, I think students made history. Our college also made history, and we are so impressed. And we got so much of participation for this meeting, the entrepreneurship meeting. See, my college, our college, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, they give equal importance to all the 3 verticals. The first vertical, placement. It's wonderful. What's happening in our college? Definitely, no doubt. It is one of the best, I can say, anywhere. You can visit our website. You can see how many companies came on campus, off campus, placement, close to 100% placement. We are one of the best when it comes to placement. Number 1 vertical, job. And number two vertical actually is the higher studies. Again, for higher studies, we have built a good infrastructure. If a student says he is interested in higher studies, he can definitely get trained in our college. We support them for higher studies. If he wants to go for GATE examination, CAT examination, any kind of examination, no problem, whatever he wants. We bring experts and we keep them on training, continuously training for around 2 to 3 years of training for higher studies. So higher studies, another vertical.
So,
A lot
ma'am,
of importance
director.
is given for higher studies. And the third one, which we are going to talk today, is entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? You want to be on your own. You don't want to go for placement. You want to start your own startup. You want to give employment to others. It's possible.
So,
It is
madam,
possible. You can provide employment to others, and it is possible. Entrepreneurship definitely is possible when you are in the bachelor degree. We have proven that in Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. In fact, myself, Dr. G. Karapsamy, I take care of entrepreneurship activities along with the great support of our management, our principal madam, Dr. Sudha Mohan Ram, chairman Mr. Mohan Ram, and director Mr. Raja Ram. All three of them are engineers. All three of them are engineers in our college. And obviously, they give so much support for entrepreneurship. And as a result, for the last 6 or 7 years, we have spent so much money. And about 1 crore of money was spent on Sri Ishwar Startup Accelerator. Startup Accelerator we have built for the benefit of 1% of the students. Can you imagine? We groom students. We give them support in our college, and more than 10 companies started by our own students. They have not invested any money on their own. We got them funds from various government agencies, and the management also gave so much support to them. So as a result, entrepreneurship is definitely grooming in our college. I can very confidently say our college, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, is one of the best in India when it comes to entrepreneurship support. I can definitely say our college is within 100 in all India level. In Tamil Nadu level, hardly around 20 colleges are like us supporting entrepreneurship. Uh, so far, the government has given a fund of 2 crores and the management has given equal amount of money for the student support. So you can see the support given to the entrepreneurs. This is the background. And I repeat, today we are making history, definitely in Ishwar College of Engineering. This 1% I was talking so far, only 1% of the students so far, if it can go up to 2,000, I can imagine we will be able to achieve the policies of government. The government of India, now they say, youngsters, please do not look for job. You are a youngster, you can go with a startup. You can start your own company. Don't go for a job. In fact, they give so much support. At least 6 central government departments are giving support to students, and we have approval from all the 6 departments: MHRD, MSME, MNRE, and DST, NST, I can keep talking on this. And definitely today, the government policy is support students if they want to start their own companies. So this is the background. So to talk on this topic, we have a very young and dynamic entrepreneur, Madam Shrinithi Venkatesa Mohan. She has joined Shrinithi Venkatesa Mohan. Actually, she is a strong supporter of Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. She very often visits our college, motivates our students. She encourages, especially the girls, to go with entrepreneurship. Her background goes like this. It's very impressive and very, very unique. I don't think anybody will dare to go in entrepreneurship venture if they had this profile. She did BE Computer Science and Engineering from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore. Then she went to US. She did master's degree in US. She worked as a software engineer in New Jersey and New York for at least 2 to 3 years. She was working in a big company, very good company, software company. All of a sudden, she resigned her job she came back to Coimbatore. Her journey, she wanted to become an entrepreneur. Actually, she is a software engineer. Can you imagine her venture? She wanted to start a play school, preschool, before LKG. She wanted to go with a chain of schools, and she started a chain of play schools. And she was going with that very strongly with the play schools. And because of the lockdown and the COVID-19 problem, and that all the schools are definitely disturbed, especially the lower level schools, LKG to LKG, PKG, LKG, and then the initial stages, it's all disturbed. She did not give up. Now she has another venture. She started into skill development, and that is called Saswam Life School. She started Saswam Life School. It's an online skill development program. And actually, the commitment towards entrepreneurship, this is what impresses me when it comes to Madam Shrinithi, and she is online. Now I welcome Shrinithi on behalf of all the participants, and definitely I think her story, her success story, a software engineer, worked in USA, turned into entrepreneur, running a chain of play schools in Coimbatore. She says, I am so happy with this venture. So can we listen to Srinithi? Madam Srinithi, it's up to you. It's for you now. You can take over. Thank you. Thanks for coming to this program.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. I hope I'm both audible and you can even see my video. Just in case my audio and video is not properly available, then the organizer can let me know on that.
Audio is okay. Audio is okay.
Okay. Audio.
Video also okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it gives me great pleasure to be in Ishwar Engineering College today, addressing all the students, faculty, and also we have a lot of outside participants who have come to listen to this program on You Can Also Become an Entrepreneur. So as sir introduced me, I think it was a very, very conscious decision to get into entrepreneurship, because like all of you over here, I had this typical option. I graduated out of school in the year 2005. So when I graduated out of Basha sir? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so so going back, so like most of us in 2005, I graduated out of school in the year 2005, 2006. So we had only limited options to explore, right? You either have engineering or you have very few options to explore. So right now I'm a parent, so I can imagine the number of options that I'm giving my daughter. But whereas in 2005 there were very limited options, and being a science student, I took up engineering stream, and I graduated out of computer science engineering. And then after that, for a short stint, I was working in India. Then I wanted to upgrade my skills, so I went abroad. I did my master's. I was also working in the US. But like all of you over here, I had a very strong passion to become an entrepreneur. So I will also keep my conversation in Tamil, because I think not most of you are comfortable in just English. So அப்போ வந்து என்ன சொல்றது, இந்த ஆண்டர்பிரனர் அப்படின்ற வார்த்தை வந்து நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு 2005 2006 தெரியாது. இப்போ இங்க வந்து உங்க டீன் சார்ல இருந்து, உங்க பிரின்சிபல் மேடம்ல இருந்து, கரஸ்பாண்டன்ட்ல இருந்து எல்லாருமே உங்களை ஆண்டர்பிரனர் ஆகணும்னு நர்ச்சர் பண்றாங்க. நீங்க ஒரு 800 பேர் இந்த வெபினார்ல வந்து ஆண்டர்பிரனர் எப்படி ஆகணும்ன்றத தெரிஞ்சுக்கிற ஆர்வத்துல நீங்க உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க. பட் நான் சொல்றேன்,
sorry for the interruption. Maybe there are participants from all the states, Andhra, okay, Telangana, Maharashtra. So
then I'll give it in English, no problem. No, I thought
one or two words in Tamil is okay. Sure, we have participants from all over India.
Okay. Since you requested me to be in Tamil, I thought I had to stick to Tamil. No problem.
Initially, we thought now it is all
Okay.
India level audience.
Oh, all right. See, I can speak Telugu, Tamil, like, I can speak most of the South Indian languages, so no problem. But anyway, I can stick to English. So in case you don't understand, always you can have a friend by your side to translate. Okay, so yeah, coming back to the story, 2005, I had very limited options, so I took up engineering. Like everybody else in the neighborhood was taking it up, not much of a thinking into it. But after taking up engineering, I did enjoy it. But I thought I should upgrade my skills. Like, I shouldn't stop with a bachelor's degree. I wanted to upgrade my skills. That's why I went to do masters in the US. And there I think I did fairly well because I used to hustle a lot when in the US, because there, you have to do everything, right? You don't have your mom waiting to put food on your plate, or you don't have your dad to oversee your financials. You are everything in the US, right? When you're independent. So I kind of explored all the opportunities, and I was really struggling hard in terms of, getting my academic degree or getting a job or everything. And thankfully, I landed up my first job. And my first job was actually an administrative assistant to dean of my college. So like my college had a dean, and he was the dean of international students. So randomly, when I was passing by his office, I knocked on his door and said, "Sir, is there a job available on campus?" And he said, "Okay, maybe come over, we'll see if it's possible." And that was my first job. So basically, I didn't think, okay, I'm an IT engineer, I need to get an IT job. Like that, I didn't think. I just wanted to earn enough so that I can support my college tuition fee. So that's how immediately I landed up in the dean's office as an administrative office assistant who will pick up calls and speak to students in India. So along with me, there was another person. She was an Afro-American. I was an Indian. It was very good, like multicultural exposure I got. After that, slowly, I also got a job in my own software field. So I was working hard. So that was my US journey. But somewhere I always felt that, I come from Coimbatore. So I always felt that I want to go back to my hometown. And when I'm going to hometown, I wanted to do something prominent, right? Do something meaningful. So I thought back then, as I was saying, this term entrepreneur abindrathu vandu, it was not familiar. See, we were all trained only to get jobs. Like I graduated from a very good college, but back then, if you see any college for that matter, it's always trained students saying that you should study well, you should get placed. That's how the whole ecosystem was. There was no startup entrepreneur, and you should imagine how difficult it will be for a woman, right? And I come from a family where I'm the first generation entrepreneur. Like all my parents are professionals, parents, grandparents, everybody are professionals. So what happened was, then that's how my life in the US was. Then I thought, okay, let me come back to my hometown and do something. And in the meantime, I think I was 22 years that time, and I made a conscious decision to get married. And I got married, and we were there briefly in UK, but we came down to settle in Coimbatore. And my husband again is very, very entrepreneurial, because he always believes that, he wanted to do something in his hometown. He wanted to do some business, impact many people. So we both came down to settle in Coimbatore. So that time I was figuring out, I know like a lot of people are there in this room like that. They want to be an entrepreneur. The ecosystem is very well nurtured right now, but they don't know exactly, like, in the field and I'm entrepreneur. Okay, we need to be an entrepreneur, but what field we need to be an entrepreneur, we don't really know. So on the aspect I was exploring different option as to in which field I can become an entrepreneur. That phase was very hard, because see, I couldn't go back to my parents, because they don't know what entrepreneurship means, right? They thought, see, we got you educated, you went and got a degree, you were working comfortably in the US, now it's your decision to come back to your hometown. So I think you should only figure out, what business you have to do, because they were busy in their own field, and I didn't have any friends, family who I can go and ask, hey, now I want to do business, what business should I do? There was no support system that way. And here again, in the family life, I was married. I was 22, 23 years old, and I had a daughter. So immediately 1 year after marriage, I had a child also. So that time, the personal family life was also kind of hectic, right? So it was left to me to figure out what I want to do in my life, like what profession I'm choosing. So I tried and explored different things. Like, I was working in same software, like when I came to Coimbatore, and I tried different things. And then I figured out, like, wherever I went, if I go to a place to study something or work something, I met a lot of women like me. Okay, women who are married, they would have had kids, they might have or might not have the support system from the family, but they were all so driven that they want to do something in their life. They don't want their academic or work credentials to go to a waste after marriage. So there were so many women like that who I met. So when I closely went and asked them, as to, there were also some women who took up like great sabbaticals, like 10, 15 years, they wouldn't have come to a career or, studies. So when I asked them why such a big sabbatical, they'll say, I don't have any support system at home. Like, I can't ask my mother or mother-in-law to take care. They are in hometown. My husband is also working. So many things, and I was exactly at that same level, because me and my husband both graduated out of engineering college, but his life did not really change after he had a baby or after he got married, right? But whereas here, though I was a better student, I got placed, I did masters, everything was better off in terms of academic and work credentials with me. But the whole responsibility of family definitely lies with me. So then I thought, okay, this is a great problem to solve out there in an Indian context. There are so many driven women who don't want to be homemakers. They want to go and do something. So can I be a solution to them? So that's how the thought happened. And I went and told my family. My family was always scared. They thought, like, now you have a daughter who's 1 year old. நீ அவளை பாப்பியா இல்ல பிசினஸ் பாப்பியா, they don't want to compromise, right? So நான் சொன்னேன், very very simple, my one line business pitch, my first one line business pitch to my first set of investors, which is my family members, was, நான் என் குழந்தையும் பாத்துக்கிறேன், கூட சேர்ந்து 10 குழந்தையும் பாத்துக்கிறேன், எனக்கு அது பிசினஸ் ஆயிடும். So I will take care of my daughter. Along with that, I'll take care of 10 children of moms who want to work. That will become a business by itself. I will get the happiness as an entrepreneur. At the same time, there's no compromise to me as a mother. Then they thought it is a good problem to solve. And a lot of people thanked me. Like, there are several women who want to work for financial needs. They don't know where to leave their child, right? So when we were able to give a both safe environment and a stimulating, I always use this adjective, safe and stimulating environment. See, so the first takeaway that I'm right now telling you is, first you have to look at what problems are around you to solve. The problems that I see around me will be very different from the problems that you see. So for me at that time, since I had a burning desire to be an entrepreneur, I have left all my academic work credentials back in the US. I'm coming and starting with a fresh slate in Coimbatore. Though I am very much brought up in Coimbatore, my slate was as fresh as anything. I did not have any of my school friends here. I did not have my college friends here. I did not have my cousins here. They were all either in other states or in abroad. Nobody was in Coimbatore. I had no contacts established in 2013. So, but I had this burning desire that I want to do something in my life. I don't want to become a homemaker. I want to do something meaningful to the society or to my family. So when that quest was there, automatically your antennas are open, your eyes are open. So you're looking for ideas around you. So that's when I hit upon the idea, hey Shrinithi, உன்ன மாதிரி நிறைய லேடிஸ் வந்து வேலைக்கு போகணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க, அவங்க குழந்தைங்கள எல்லாம் பாத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா உனக்கு பிசினஸும் ஆச்சு, உன் குழந்தையும் பாத்துக்கலாம். வெரி வெரி சிம்பிள் பிசினஸ் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். The problems that you're solving don't have to be complex. It has to be very simple. Like if you take the problem that Swiggy is solving, very very simple. எனக்கு வெளியே போய் I can't go out and order food. Can somebody come and deliver to me at the desk? Can they come and deliver to me when I'm working, when I'm studying? Very, very simple business problem, right? So your business problems don't have to be complex. So that's how I derived that particular business problem, the problem that I'm solving. Next is you should have a personal connection towards it, right? இப்போ நான் ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் நோட்டீஸ் பண்றேன், ஓகே, ஸோ இப்போ இந்த ஸ்விக்கி ப்ராப்ளம் நான் நோட்டீஸ் பண்றேன், கேன் ஐ கோ அண்ட் சால்வ் இட்? What is my personal credential or work credential, or is that the problem that I love solving? No, because I don't have connection. Just because my friend is solving one business problem, I cannot mimic it, right? This is not like college, copy paste panna mudiyadhu. So I need to have that personal connection. If I don't have that personal connection, then somehow in the midline I will think, okay, no, I'm bored out of this. So here I found a burning desire towards it. Yo, this problem I am facing, let me go and solve it for, several other women. So then I got that personal connection. Then third, see, sometimes I think my husband, I have to give him credits. He's a very, very, what do I say, stabilizing factor for me. Because I always say, when all the resources are available to you, you'll never grow. So sometimes whenever I went to him, he'll say, go and figure out yourself. So I think that's the best remedy. He's never been that one husband who says, hey, given everything to me on a platter and say, hey, now you go and do it. No, he said, go and figure out. That's it. Appo romba, like, I'll say something very, very jovial, something very colloquial. I went and told him, Pa, I want to start a play school or a school. He said, what do you know about school? You are a software engineer. You may be good in business development and all those aspects in your field. Play school konakku enna theriyum? What do you know? Just because you are a mother doesn't mean that you can start a preschool and look after 10 other kids, right? I thought it's a very, very valid point that he said. So I always believe if you're choosing some particular field, see, ஒரு work-க்கு போணும்னா நீங்க அதுல ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட்டா இருக்கணும். If you are working in some particular domain, it can be anything, database development, Java, whatever, it can be technology, non-technology, restaurant ஆரம்பிக்கலாம், whatever it is, whatever business, whatever job that you are going into, you need to be a subject matter expert, right? So if you are going to be the business owner of it, imagine how much of a depth in knowledge you have to have. So then I thought, okay, I might be a software engineer, I might have a lot of work credentials in that particular domain, but when it comes to handling with kids, what do I know? So then I went and got all possible degrees, all possible workshops, conferences. I did diploma in Montessori. I went and did bachelor's in special education. I did MSc counseling and psychotherapy. Ellame I did. Like in the field, if I have to be the best in the field, what I have to acquire, abdin solli I got all these degrees. And then when I went and worked for a salary of 4,000 rupees. I used to think like, my salary shift from what I was earning to what it was huge. But in the field, what do I know with this? I was not ashamed to get that salary. So first salary was 4,000 rupees. So that time there was a lot of regrets in my family. They used to say, think twice, imagine it's basically like how many zeros cut off your pay package, and you didn't want to live abroad, you wanted to come and do something over here. All that is very, very commendable, but look at the salary pay cut that you're taking. I thought, no, see, with respect to this field, this is how much I know, right? Neenga vandu you can be one high tech program analyst ah irkalam, coder ah irkalam. You're going and starting a restaurant, you are going and becoming a parota master. If this, whatever is the salary, that's how much is the salary, because in that particular field you are a zero, right? We don't know anything. So I said, no, idu vandu salary yosikka vena, let me develop my expertise appdin solittu I worked as a teacher, then I worked as a coordinator. I was working for like lot of Tamil Nadu preschools were under me. I handled them very efficiently. Then I moved up my career ladder in the education space. So because I was very clear by then, I wanted to become an education-based entrepreneur. I had chosen my vertical. Then I had owned a franchise-based preschool. In the Mari, like in my particular field, both work and academic credentials, I did everything. And then I thought, okay, I think now it's the time for me to jump into action. Enough of the learning mode, because if you're going to learn, then you can never step into action. So I thought, okay, now it is safe. Okay, இப்போ குதிச்சா வந்து 30 அடி தான் அந்த மாதிரி அந்த ரிஸ்க ஃபுல்லா மிட்டிகேட் பண்ணிட்டு சரி நவ் ஐ வில் ஸ்டார்ட் மை ஓன் வெஞ்சர்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஐ ஸ்டார்டட் மை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பிரான்ச் ஆஃப் ப்ரீ school in Tatabad in Gandhipuram. In the year 2016 I started, and just like I told you, என்னோட பொண்ணு கூட ஒரு 10-15 குழந்தைங்களை வச்சுதான் நான் ஆரம்பிச்சேன். But from my first center I made it very very SOP based. See, when you're listening to this, I would recommend you to note down any takeaways from my personal journey. So I'm sharing my personal journey not to tell you any of my accomplishments. So something which has worked out, and you also have to note down something which has not worked out, my failures as well, so you can implement it in your own life. Yeah, because I'm talking about my like 8 years in a recap, so which means you don't have to waste the time cycle just like me. So whenever there is a positive and negative takeaway, I would recommend you to note. So after figuring out the business problem, getting my work and academic credentials, starting my first preschool, what I believed is it should not be another mom and pop venture. Mom and pop venture அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனலா ஒரு என்டிட்டி ரன் பண்றதுக்கும் அண்ட் ஒரு ஒரு என்ன சொல்றது ஒரு ஹோம்பிரனரா ரன் பண்றதுக்கும் there's a lot of difference, right? You can be a homepreneur, no problem. I've been like that, but you should also make it a very very conscious business model, right? Business model should be there. Passion can be there, so this passion of being with kids or working with moms is amazing, but then you should have a business model around it to scale. And from day one I made sure it is SOP based. I always had scale in mind. Okay, so if you're having scale in mind, then it should make sure that from your first preschool that systems should be in place, because see, scaling up is so easy. Like, it's the same thing if you go to an Adayar Anand Bhavan in Gandhipuram or Adayar Anand Bhavan in Hosur, it's the same thing. The food, the the caterers, the person who's serving, ellame onnu dhaan, but onnu fail aanalum ellame fail agum. So same with my play school, what I did was from the first, like how the teacher should be, how the curriculum should be, how the uniform should be, ஒரு எங்களோட சென்டருக்கு வந்தாலும் 10 சென்டருக்கு போனாலும் அதே மாதிரி இருக்கணும்னு பண்ணதுனால I was able to achieve scale very very fast, and so the SOP based வந்து பண்ணிட்டேன். And அந்த இடத்துல one more thing that I would like to give as a takeaway is always don't think you should be that limelight person. I should only be the face of the brand. Don't think like that. When we are doing this journey, empower a lot of women in the journey. Like when I was doing this preschool venture, there was one of my friends who came. She was also an engineer like me, so she said, I'm also stuck at home because of my daughter, so can I implement the same venture that you're doing in one more location? I gave her the technical know-how, and she's doing very well on her own. Then there was this another gentleman who said, I love your passion, I love your team, and I know this preschool sector is a very very rapid growing sector, right? So he actually he busted the myth for me, saying that we always put a gender to a business, right? Ipo salon na the women business, makeup women business, manufacturing men business, in the madri we put a gender to a business unnecessarily. So with that gentleman, what I came to know is there's no gender to business actually. So preschool na it's a very good business model, right? We all know, we see around us with our kids or kids around in the family, we all know it's getting tougher when both the parents are working. It's very tough to accommodate children at home in a constructive way than just giving phone or TV to occupy them. It's very hard, and with growing nuclear families, it's a very good business model. So that gentleman came and said, I want to implement the same thing which you're doing in GV residency. So he started, so in the mari franchise based business model I scaled. And then one lady came and told me, I've been a homemaker for 10-15 years now, I want to start something, I don't have the courage to do a business of my own, so I will implement whatever that you are doing. So Tirupur la aramchom. Then there's no looking back. Okay, Coimbatore, Tirupur, Salem, Erode, Chennai, and the mari, like we have expanded. Coimbatore we have reached about 7 preschools. So scaling up was very very nice. And இப்போ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது தான் கொரோனா வந்துருச்சு. கொரோனா just like everybody, கொரோனா வரும். And imagine the amount of setback we'll have, because we are operating in a child zone. So I have two kids. I have my daughter who is 7 years old, and my son just should have been to preschool if not for Corona, 2.5 years. So a parent in the right mind will not send a child to a preschool right now. Correctingla? Because see, we have other priorities. Appo, now if I have a what do I say, the setback, if it gets onto my head, it's going to get onto all my franchisees, my teachers, my IAMAs, everybody. So then who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who sees a business opportunity with anything and everything. His antennas are always open that way. If somebody talks to me for 5 minutes, I will listen as to how can we, collaborate. How can we collaborate and work, or is there anything that I can benefit him? And the madri da yosika thono. So initially when Corona hit, nobody thought this is going to be this big, right? So we thought, okay, 2 months there will be setback. After that, kids are going to come. Appadina. But it did not happen. So an entrepreneur is a person who sees opportunity. So he is a person who's always on a growth mindset, not on a blaming mindset. So I thought, okay, now what can we do? Then I thought maybe we should do skill based. In the time when the eppadi use achina, this was a time where I wanted to explore things which I have never had the time to explore. Every day with Shiksha Juniors preschools, I was getting up, running and doing the preschool work, franchising it happily. But this time I sat down and first I learned and grew as an entrepreneur. I did all the things which I wanted to do as an entrepreneur. And I started something called Sashwam Life School. So actually it was a Corona baby. It was the second baby that I had. It's a Corona baby. So what I did was, why should we restrict only to kids? Adults I integrated. I started providing different programs on collaboration basis. We started with teaching them spoken Hindi, spoken Tamil, spoken German. In the Mari, we did various programs, skill development programs, language development programs, entrepreneurship programs. In the Mari, short and long-term courses of skills we started providing in Sashwam Life School. And we also started some counseling services. Like, a lot of people are depressed, be it students or employees. They are depressed. So we also opened an arm of psychology services at Sashwam. We offered different skill-based programs, short-term and long-term in Sashwam. And then I thought, okay, this is my time to also, collaborate and work with other women in Solita. I started a women peer network group that just got launched last Sunday, where 2 weeks once on a Sunday, a group of women, we get together on a Zoom call and we help each other, in terms of business or personal goals. I would definitely welcome all the women who are attending here to be a part of my Women Growth Network after getting details from from the management. So in the Mari, two things happened to me in Corona. I added a new business vertical, and I also made sure that during this time, can I do my social responsibility by being a part of the psychology community and also by starting the Women Growth Network. So it has really helped. So idhula enna takeaway na, an entrepreneur has to always see opportunities and be on the growth mindset. There's so much to still explore. So and I always believe that you have to have your eggs should be in different baskets. So like when I knew my play school is not going to work for another period of a year, immediately I started my life school venture, which was a virtual based platform which will give the needed revenue or impact which my first venture will not give me. And also my third venture, it's a social venture. I'm not looking at making money through it, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of impact for me as a person, for my business, and for my community as a whole. So this is how Corona was to me. So I will reiterate that 4 takeaways which you should have got ideally by now. First, identify a business problem which everybody is facing around you. And second is, you see if you have a personal connection to it. Third, don't just solve a problem because your friend is doing it or you think that is on trend. See if you first have a connection towards it. right? And then the fourth point that I said is you go and become an expert in that particular field, whatever it is. If you're going to become a technology company, logistics company, education, whatever vertical, right? I'm always fascinated about your own Ishwar Engineering College story, because I think your madam has been working in another college and she has so much of an experience. She is a PhD herself, and all your sirs, everybody, they have such rich academic and work expertise. Only then when you go and start something, it'll be meaningful. Otherwise, you won't have much to contribute. So that comes to my fourth point: be a skill expert in whatever that you do. Then fifth point is, from day one, make it very, very process driven organization, not people driven organization. Make it SOP based. Only then it will scale. Don't do ventures just to cater your 5 kilometer radius. It's a small business, it is good, but I think as educated people, having had such big exposures, you have to look at creating businesses which are extremely scalable, extremely impactful. Like இப்போ நான் பிளே ஸ்கூல் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது என்ன சுத்தி ஒரு 5 kilometers radius parents only were getting impacted. But when I do Sashram, the impact is much more. We have even foreign abroad kids attending, kids from other states attending. So don't restrict your window to just people around you. So don't always think that you should be a SMB. You can also look at in the startup vision you should have in your head. That's what will make the difference. And so அந்த மாதிரி கொரோனாக்கு அப்புறம் I told you like how you can get into the growth mindset. See, there is always opportunities. Okay, there are always opportunities, so always keep eyeing for opportunities, collaboration. And then my final takeaway from my journey is, when you're doing something, try to integrate, collaborate, and get everybody together. Okay, நான் மட்டும் தான் பண்ணணும், I should only be the hero of my movie ன்னு இருக்க கூடாது. You should, I think, everybody. So like என்னோட ஸ்டோரியிலே பாத்தீங்கன்னா, somebody who was my teacher coordinator become my franchisee. When one of that, I told you that sir, when he wanted to come and start something like this, I said, okay, why don't you take up this and do it as a franchise model? So try and integrate different stakeholders. So when you do this, you will not only build a scalable business, you'll also be a sustainable business model. So do I have another 20 minutes time?
Yes, ma'am, you have.
Yeah, you can take.
So
you can go ahead with your presentation. No problem.
All right. Then I'll just show you my presentation. So Basha sir, can you show the presentation? Yeah. All right. So the first, I think, why I gave you this whole big intro about me is, first you should understand as to who I am, and who I am in the sense, what are the mistakes and what are the good takeaways. Because I think the greatest lessons come actually from people, not from your textbooks. If you sit one day and you talk to Karupsamy sir, probably his journey, you will get what your degree will not give you. ரைட்? நம்ம வந்து அந்த டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. இப்போ நான் உங்களுக்கு சொன்னதே ஒரு 8 years என்னோட ஜேர்னியை ரீகேப்ல சொல்லியிருக்கேன். ஸோ வாட் எவர் மிஸ்டேக் தட் ஐவ் டன், யூ வில் நாட் ரிப்பீட் இட், அண்ட் வாட் எவர் குட் திங்ஸ் ஐ ஹவ் டன், you can implement it. So that's why I told you, I think I was able to give 4-5 takeaways through my journey. So that's so usually when we listen to some people's journey, you shouldn't listen to it as a story. You should only note down as to, okay, what are the good things that they did, like, and what are the takeaways that I can have from their life, so that I don't repeat it. So I'll go to my presentation. Our topic is you can be an entrepreneur. I'll take 20 minutes of your time and attention, but I request all of you to be extremely careful. This is not going to be yet another presentation, college presentation madri kadiyadu. It will be very, very relevant to you, and I'll keep it to you as enjoyable as possible. So இன்னைக்கு என்னோட topic is you can be an entrepreneur. First, what is entrepreneurship? Seriously, I don't know that there was a term entrepreneurship when I was in college. I only know placements. There was a placement officer. இதுதான் எங்களுக்கு தெரியும். இப்போ entrepreneurshipனா என்ன, businessனா என்ன அப்படின்னா, entrepreneurshipன்றது you have to solve a problem, right? I told you my example. I'm solving the problem that there was nobody at home to take care of the kids when parents went to work. That was the problem that I was trying to solve. So அப்ப நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, first what is the problem that you can solve around, and that problem has to be serious enough. You can't ஒரு நீங்க எழுதணும் ஒரு 10 ப்ராப்ளம். இப்ப நீங்க say if you are a student, you sit and think today. I know a lot of people tell me, ma'am, I want to start a business, but I don't know what business to start. Appo 10 problems first எழுதுங்க. What are the 10 problems that I face as a student? Morning to it's extremely difficult for me to get up and come to college. ஏதோ ஒண்ணு, whatever, you write down 10 problems. You wear that thinking hat and you write 10 problems as a student. இப்போ supposing say you're a college staff here னு வெச்சுக்கோங்களேன், write 10 problems as a college staff. Like, because they are coming to work in a college, they are missing out lunch or they are missing out breakfast. Can I provide breakfast to them? So வந்து டெக்னாலஜி ஸ்டார்ட் அப்பா இருக்கணும், அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. லைக் யூ ஸ்டார்ட் இட். சி, டெக்னாலஜி இஸ் ஒன்லி an added advantage. Like, you're hearing it from somebody who was working in the technology domain. So don't think now itself, hey, the day I start, I have to be like Swiggy or I have to be like Uber. What is that one problem you can solve? Or college professor க்கு என்னெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு, ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு என்னெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு, ஒரு பேரண்ட்க்கு என்னெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. நான் தான் யோசிச்சேன், ஒரு பேரண்ட்க்கு என்னெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு, நம்மள மாதிரி ஒரு பேரண்ட்க்கு என்னெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. So அந்த மாதிரி you write 10 problems around you. Okay, yeah. And validate if that problem is a real problem that you're solving. Is it a must have or is it nice to have? Must have na kandipa vaangiye dhaan aganum. They have to definitely buy that product, right? So அந்த மாதிரி, is it a real pinching problem which people will be willing to pay? அப்போ நான் சும்மா ஒரு பிசினஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு I should not force fit into you, right? I am proposing a business model saying I will take care of your kids when you're at work. But idhukku they should be ready to pay, no? Whatever is the charge, 2,000 per month, 3,000 per month, whatever it is that customer willing to pay? இப்போ உங்க இதுல ஒரு ப்ரொஃபசர் இருக்காருன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஓகே, நான் வந்து I will do breakfast and bring for all the department staff over here ன்னு சொல்றாருன்னா, then somebody has to be willing to pay. When will the customer be willing to pay? Only if you are solving their real pinching problem. Sometimes what happens is, without doing that validation from the customers, we will develop the business model and go and try to sell it in the market. It will not work. So rather, this is the other side out approach. From the market, you find out what is the problem that you need to solve. So that's the entrepreneurship. Why entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship எதுக்கு பண்ணணும்? நான் வந்து I heard of this nice fancy slogan. Startup is the new guitar that every student wants to have. Startup is the new guitar which every student wants to have. Enna, you know how fancy it is to hold a guitar, right? Everybody wants to learn to play the guitar because it's very fancy. It's a very cool thing to have. அந்த மாதிரி நம்மளை சுத்தியோ நம்ம பெரியப்பா பையன் ஆண்டர்பிரினரா இருக்காரு, அவங்க ஆண்டர்பிரினரா இருக்காங்க, இவங்க பிசினஸ் இருக்காங்க பண்றாங்க, ஸ்டீவ் ஜாப்ஸ் அப்படி இருக்காரு. எவ்ரிபடி வாண்ட்ஸ் டு பிகம் an entrepreneur just for the whims and fancies. கரெக்டா? இப்ப நான் ஆண்டர்பிரினரா இருக்கேன்றதுக்காக நீங்க ஆண்டர்பிரினர் ஆகணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது. நீங்க இருக்கீங்கன்றதுக்காக நான் ஆகணும்ன்றது இட்ஸ் நாட் நெசசரி, ரைட்? சோ அப்போ why entrepreneurship அப்படின்னா, sir just said, like, we have to have more jobs, we talk about economy, we talk about lot of things, right? So there's definitely lot of benefits for becoming an entrepreneur, but here I kindly request you that you don't take out the wrong messages. See, normally what happens is we only see the positive things. You only see me when I'm coming and addressing you all as a chief guest. Have you seen me every other day sitting with my accounts or sitting with my team to get to work or solving real life problems? No. So we always say, it's like, I love this quote where they say, you're prepared for the wedding but not for the marriage. One day wedding everybody's prepared. They like to be photographed, they like to eat good food, wear good clothes. After that, are you prepared for the marriage, to live with your spouse, to live with your kids and in-laws? No. Correct. So I'm not saying, so don't be attracted only by the whims and fancies. They think, okay, you don't have a 9-to-5 job, but who knows that we have 24/7 job? Nobody knows. They think we are making all the money in the world, but who knows how much money we are losing and making sure that the business is floating? Nobody knows. So I'm not saying don't take up entrepreneurship. Take it up with a pinch of salt. Okay. So it is going to be a hard journey. So not every day you are going to be invited as a chief guest. So we're not doing it for that, right? So this is going to be a hard journey, and that's why I'm doing apdina. Then you all can definitely take up entrepreneurship. How to be an entrepreneur, how to be. So why fix ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா how automatically வந்துரும், right? So why வந்து அந்த desire deep down இருக்கணும். How to be an entrepreneur நான் சொல்லிட்டேன். You have to wear different hats to see which fits you the best. Then you become a subject matter at it. Then I think that will solve the problem of how to be an entrepreneur. Where to be an entrepreneur and which domain, இதுவும் இருக்கு. ஸோ அப்போ நீங்க வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யூ ஷுட் டூ அ செல்ஃப் ஸ்டடி. எனக்கு என்னென்ன வரும், வாட் ஆர் ஆல் தி திங்ஸ் தட் ஐ எம் குட் அட் டூயிங். ஆம் ஐ குட் இன் ஸ்பீக்கிங், ஆம் ஐ குட் இன் கம்யூனிகேட்டிங் வித் பீப்புள், ஆம் ஐ குட் இன் டெக்னாலஜி, am I good in food, whatever, whatever it is, you first identify which niche you feel comfortable in. Don't just take it up because your family, somebody is doing it. Don't do that herd mentality, because you're going to be living more with your job than with your people at home, right? In a 24 hours, I think most of the time I'm sitting at work rather than spending time with my family. So better love what you are doing. So first figure out பண்ணுங்க. அது எல்லாருக்குமே இமிடியேட்டா தெரியாது. See, எனக்கே I think it took like only when I was 25-26 years old I was able to konjamada have an understanding as to what I'm good at. So you have to try different things to find out what you're good at, and once you found that, then I think you have to go full-fledged with it. So in the life cycle I want you to go through. So first you've identified the problem. Okay, any problem. காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே வந்து டு கெட் தேர் க்ளோத்ஸ் laundered, to get their clothes washed is a struggle. என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்னா எடுத்துக்கலாம். Like இப்போ ஒரு I'm just saying examples relevant to you. Supposing a placement interview போகும்போது I'm sure like like எங்க காலேஜ்ல எல்லாம் boys like where is the tie, where is the collared shirt ன்னு சொல்லிட்டு they used to be running around. So இந்த மாதிரி like can I give something on rental during that time, can I give jackets on rental, because not every day you're wearing jackets, right? Not every day you're wearing a blazer coat suit. So can I do something of that? Other rental kuduklama, adukku or scope irka, adukku people pay பண்ணுவாங்களா? ஒரு 10,000 rupees போட்டு ஒரு blazer வாங்குறதுக்கு பதிலா நான் ஒரு 200 rupees கொடுத்துட்டு எனக்கு எப்ப இன்டர்வியூவோ அப்ப மட்டும் நான் வந்து அதை ரெண்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாமா? எப்பயாவது whenever there's a wedding or a party, can I rent that blazer? Whatever, whatever problem. So அந்த மாதிரி first ஒரு problem first you have to identify, and then go and validate it. Go and talk to 10 people who will be your target customer. இப்போ நான் வந்து ப்ரீ ஸ்கூல் ஆரம்பிக்கிறேன், இல்ல ஒரு ஸ்கில் டெவலப்மெண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் ஆரம்பிக்கிறேன்னா my target audience is obviously the kids and their parents. So beneficiaries, the kids are the beneficiaries, but who are the decision makers? My decision makers are not the kids but their parents. So go and talk to 10 people saying, hey Priya, இந்த மாதிரி I wanted to start a business. So if I take care of your child for 3 hours, which enables you to do your own job, will you pay for it? அப்படின்னா அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 10 பேர்கிட்ட நீங்க கேட்டீங்கன்னா அவங்களே சஜஷன் கொடுப்பாங்க. They will themselves give suggestion. So Sashram Life School, that's how it happened. I just randomly did one prototype. After that, they started giving me suggestion. Can you start spoken Hindi in Ketanga? Can you start Carnatic music? I started Carnatic music for kids. The adults came and said, hey, can you start Carnatic music for adults in Ketanga? And they will only give you ஒரு சின்ன ஐடியா போனீங்கன்னா ஒரு 10 people கிட்ட பேசும்போது they will their perception of it. Okay, so go and talk to your target group and identify it, and then that's the product market fit. And also observe as to around you what people are already doing it. Sometimes what happens is இப்போ ஆல்ரெடி ஒருத்தவங்க பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். இப்போ நான் ப்ரீ ஸ்கூல் செக்டர் என்டர் பண்ணும்போது இட் வாஸ் நாட் லைக் there were not other people who are doing it, right? There were tons of people who are already doing it. But also analyze if the market is massive. That's very important. You understand your market size. Like for example, for me it's a growing market, right? Because more and more it is going to be diminishing families, it's going to be nuclear families, so more and more women are going to be working. After corona I think it's highly vital but both members work. அப்படின்றப்போ இந்த ப்ரீ ஸ்கூல் செக்டர்ன்றது இட்ஸ் a growing market and massive market. அப்ப massive marketன்றப்போ என்ன, it's not necessary that I have to be the only player, right? It's still a underserved market. It's an underserved market, right? So sometimes adum you have to be cautious. Who are the other people who are doing the same thing that you are doing, and what competitive advantage that you have with respect to others? Okay, if there is another preschool, there is another skill school abdina, okay, they are doing that, but what niche, what is their specialty, what is my specialty? So when Ishwar Engineering College started, I'm sure that there were so many colleges who have been there for like hundreds of years. But Ishwar will be known for certain things, right? Maybe like placement, entrepreneurship, ஏதோ ஒரு niche வந்து அவங்க super dominant இருப்பாங்க. So identify that. I always say, identify your super niche first. Like இப்போ for example, if you take Talapakatti biryani, it's not like parotas are not being sold, right? You can go and even order parota. You can order rice, you can order fried rice, whatever. But what is Talapakatti known for? It's known for biryani. So first identify that one particular niche. So the preschool market can be crowded, but what is that one thing that you are specialized about and which only you can deliver the best? That's going to be your competitive advantage. There can be so many cricketers, but nobody can bowl like him. Nobody can bat like him. There's something of that sort, right? As a person, உங்களுக்கு எப்படி உங்களுக்கு ஒரு USP இருக்குமோ அந்த மாதிரி உங்க பிசினஸ்க்கும் you have to derive what is the USP. So don't worry that there are so many people in the market. Just find out what's the competitive advantage that you have in comparison to them. If your market is big, if your market is growing, don't let this scare you. You can keep doing what you have to do, and then do a prototype. First I only did it in Tatabat. I did not do it in 10 places, right? I would have failed miserably. First I took up one venture, one ஒரு இடத்துல தான் நான் ஆரம்பிச்சேன். And the one placeல I made sure I had first 100 customers, I got it in that particular preschool. And after getting 100 customers in that preschool, did I keep them satisfied? Now can I go and implement it in multiple places? So do a prototype study. And then traction. So that's the traction. Okay, traction and okay, so many students came, they studied, they paid for me, they were impressed. And then sales and marketing is very important. Okay, now you know a product or a service works. How do I go and sales and market it? Sales and marketing are different things that I know you know. So the marketing, how are you going to be messaging? And the messaging is very, very important. So what is that other it will come with what is your USP based panni and the messaging neenga public ku kuduthingena. So that's typically your 360 degrees life cycle of your product or business which you need to launch in your market. And then stakeholders. Now first I always believe nanda raja nanda ella pananuna doesn't happen. You have different stakeholders. First obviously is the founder. You should have passion about the problem that you're solving. Otherwise, you cannot transmit to the other people in the organization, right? So if your founder has started your particular college, first he should have had that burning desire to do the college. But he can't do it as a single person, right? That's why he has developed a whole team of principal, HODs, professors, students, all the different stakeholders have come into the college. So that one person's vision has got transmitted into a founding team which is very strong, and ellarume unga founder oda passion la irundirpaanga. They would have believed in that problem, right? So andha mari oru amazing founding team. See, college, if you're in a college, this is the right time to do it, right? Because see, now you guys don't have Najamala, you don't have any problems. Do you have problem of taking care? My mom used to tell this when I was in college, and when she was in school, when I was in school, she used to tell me, உனக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு வேலை இருக்கா, படிக்கணும், இது ஒண்ணுதான் படிக்கணும், நல்ல வேலைக்கு போகணும், இதுதான் வேலை இருக்கு, வேற என்ன, what work do you have? She used to say. I never used to know the meaning of it until now, trust me. To get just 4 hours of my personal time is very hard, because after marriage, you have kids, you have everything. Be it a man or a woman, this is how it is, okay? So when you're in college, I think you should make use of your time in a very, very right fashion. So have a good founder is important, founding team, and then mentors very important. Don't think you know everything at any point of time. And mentors they don't have to be in your particular field. If I play school or skill development nadutrena, my mentors need not be in this, okay? Of course, to have a mentor in this will help. Somebody who has already worked in a skill based platform, and if I'm having them as my mentor, it definitely helps. But you can also have a third person perspective, because they'll come with totally no knowledge about my particular field. So have mentors, have advisors, right? In a lot of times, in my journey itself, I've gone very, very passion driven, not placing money into focus. So that time I've got a lot of knock on my head saying it's good that you are achieving your passion, but whatever passion that you have, you need fuel to run your business. So put your finances also into check. அந்த மாதிரி அட்வைசஸ் இருக்கணும், பார்ட்னர்ஸ் இருக்கணும். எல்லாமே நம்ம மட்டும் பண்ண முடியாது இல்லையா? ஸோ ஃப்ரான்ச்சைசி பேஸ்ட் பிசினஸ்ல இருக்கேன் நான், அப்போ நிறைய பார்ட்னர்ஸையும் நான் வந்து இதுல சேர்த்துக்கணும். அண்ட் கஸ்டமர்ஸ், தே ஆர் யுவர் ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ். கஸ்டமர்ஸ் வந்து நீங்க சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா தே வில் ஹெல்ப் யூ. So this is not my brand, this is my customer's brand, this is my kids' brand, so every family's brand. So அந்த மாதிரி have a good stakeholders. I'm going to tell you some mantras for success. Mantra for success na first point na சொன்ன மாதிரி, whatever field you are, be the authority. இது வந்து it's a very cliche dialogue, you would have heard so many times. If you are going to be a person who's sweeping the road, be that best person. There's nobody who can sweep the road as good as this girl. Be it if somebody is even is doing a stitching, ஏதோ ஸ்டிச் பண்றாங்க, இவங்கள மாதிரி தைக்க முடியாது, இவங்கள மாதிரி இந்த பிசினஸ் பண்ண முடியாது, இவங்கள மாதிரி இந்த வேலை பண்ண முடியாது, அந்த மாதிரி இவங்கள மாதிரி ஒரு ஈவெண்ட் ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. இவங்க வந்தாங்கன்னா they make sure that the webinar jam is working perfect, the speaker is on time, whatever, you know, it can be very very little thing. So don't just think you have to be always a complicated person. ஒரு simple thing நாலும் am I an authority, and constant evolve ஆகணும், constant evolve ஆகணும், இல்லனா முடியாது. Okay, so constant evolve ஆகணும்னா I'll tell something very colloquial here, but I really loved this one mantra which I got from somebody who was so not even into this. Okay, so there was this person who said, காலை ஆட்டிட்டே இருக்கணும், இல்லைன்னா போய் புதைச்சிருவாங்க. I was taken aback by this one entrepreneurship mantra which I got from a person who was not even into all this. I thought it is so, you know, so valuable. என்னன்னா, you have to keep doing something, otherwise people will think that you're dead, you're obsolete, right? So ஏதாவது பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கணும். So okay, this corona has come, you know, that's it, Shiksha is going to fall back now. You can't do that. You keep evolving. What is that new thing, new thing? அந்த மாதிரி கான்ஸ்டன்டா இவால்வ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா மட்டும்தான் you will keep evolving, otherwise you will become obsolete. ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அது நான் சொன்ன எல்லா ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ், மென்டர்ஸ், அட்வைசர்ஸ், பார்ட்னர்ஸ், உங்க கஸ்டமர்ஸ், அதுதான் மெயின். தட் இஸ் த இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங். ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஓகே, நான் ஒரு பிசினஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன், நான் ஒரு ப்ராடக்டை வித்துட்டேன், தட்ஸ் இட், டன். நோ, நாட் லைக் தட். Talk to your customer. One day in a week you allocate to talking to a customer saying, did you use the product? What did you like? What did you not like? Please tell me what you don't like so that I can implement it. So that relationship. Commitment, very important. Very, very important. It is not like how you are in college or, you know, before, right? But 11 o'clock webinar na 11 o'clock webinar ku I need to be there. Commitment, punctuality, very very important. Integrity, very very important. Integrity, no lies, no honesty, no mishandling kids. Idella na I kept it as a policy. No, it should be very very integral. No money mishandling, whatever it is. I need to be honest and truth and honesty, very very important. So on the truth and honesty illam irundichina I will not do one particular thing. Next, growth. You have to keep growing, not stop with one particular thing. And perseverance. Not every day is a rainy day. There are going to be extremely dry days where you think a lot of times, you know, can I go back to what I'm doing? Can I just sit at home? Why am I even undergoing all this hustle? In the mari thonu, but you have to stick to it and keep doing it. So that is the end of my whole presentation. So I think I've touched upon, like I've spoken to you for an hour now. For first half, I spoke to you about my journey of how I graduated and I became an entrepreneur. Now I shared my presentation where I have told you the do's and don'ts of entrepreneurship, how to step into entrepreneurship. I hope I was able to give some clarity or the other. I will leave it to Dean sir. So for any particular feedback. Thank you so much. Any doubts, you can get in touch with me. You can follow me on social media. My name is Shrinithi Venkatesa Mohan and my venture's name is Sashvam Life School. So I'm always open in guiding women or students or anybody for that matter. If I can impact you in some way through my journey, I'll be more than glad. You can get my details from sir so that you can get in touch with me at any time. Any help for Ishwar always. So thank you so much, sir, for inviting me.
Thank you, thank you, madam. Your speech was so inspiring. I think more than 1,000 future entrepreneurs were listening to you. And as I said before, it's a history now. Today, you made history, and congratulations to you. Definitely, your both ventures, Shiksha School and Sasrom, will be successful. And you were so honest in explaining your journey. Big appreciation to all of you. I'm seeing a virtual world is appreciating you in the chat box. So many people appreciated what you are doing. Since the time exceeded about an hour, I think at least 4 questions we will take it up, and she will answer the 4 questions. Mr. Prasant, he wanted to know: is there any government support for your sector? Any government sector, any possibility? Did you get any support fund from government?
Sir, I did not explore much of a government support, to be honest. So I am like one of the entrepreneurs who worked, saved up some money, and invested into the business that I started. So it was more of my personal money that I put into. But going forward, yes, when we are in the scale up phase, we might be availing some loans or schemes which are eligible for women entrepreneurs, for my franchisees. There are a lot of loan and scheme options which are available for first time entrepreneurs, for women entrepreneurs. There are so many schemes. I did not do it, but I have seen people around me do it. So if funds is what is stopping you from doing a business, I think there's a lot of opportunities in your particular domains which are available. So you can contact MSME schemes, SIDBI, and so many other schemes for it as to what loans you can avail. All that you can explore. It's available.
Okay, very nice. The next question is from Suma Ji. Actually, she wants to do something in agriculture. She wants to become an agricultural entrepreneur. Any suggestion for her? Any input you want to give her?
Suma, I think it's a good thing that you have at least identified what domain you have to be in, right? Because நான் வந்து ரொம்ப நாளைக்கு என்ன domainல நான் specialize ஆக போறேன்றதே எனக்கு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு it took time, right? So it's good that you are very clear about, okay, agriculture domain, you have already fixed it, right? So my humble advice to all of you is first figure out what domain you want to explore on, and once you've identified agriculture domain, do that same exercise which I told you. Find out what are the top problems in agriculture. Okay, top problem in agriculture, say இப்போ வந்து land இல்ல, முன்னாடி எல்லாம் 3 ஏக்கர் 4 ஏக்கர்னு எல்லாரும் லேண்ட் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. இப்ப லேண்ட் இல்ல. சரி, அப்போ லேண்ட் இல்லாம எப்படி விவசாயம் பண்ண முடியும்? What is on trend? Hydroponics trendல இருக்கா? I don't know. Like that, you have to do some basic homework and research as to, okay, in my agriculture sector, what are that 10 problems which are very, very painful? So can I solve that problem? You develop an expertise, whatever. அது ஹார்டிகல்ச்சரா இருக்கலாம், ஹைட்ரோபோனிக்ஸா இருக்கலாம், அக்ரிகல்ச்சர்ல என்ன வேணா இருக்கலாம், பந்தல் விவசாயம், whatever it is, அந்த ஃபீல்டுல வந்து do I have the knowledge? Okay, if I am going to be setting up something, நான் வந்து அதுக்கு படிச்சிருக்கேனா, நான் போய் அங்க எல்லா வேலையும் பண்ணிருக்கேனா, have I done A to Z of that particular job? Then you go and start it as a venture, roll it off as a company, find a founding team, get the first 100 customers, you will be a success.
Next question is from Yes Kirtana. She has started a YouTube channel. Can she be called as an entrepreneur?
See, it's fantastic that you have started a YouTube channel. Okay, a lot of entrepreneurs like me, now we are thinking, oh, this YouTube is one big market which we've never capitalized on. And solite, for all that you know, my daughter who's 7 years old, she's got a YouTube channel. I don't have. So அந்த மாதிரி the YouTube is the next 21st generation skill. வந்து it's YouTube, TikTok and all of it, because I think you have to be in that social media platform to reach out to that many people over there. See, YouTuber is also, I would say, you're a freelancer and you're doing things on your own. So it's not about putting a title, right? இப்போ entrepreneurனு சொல்லணும்ன்றதுக்காக we are not doing this job, right? It's not about the title. If you want to call yourself an entrepreneur, you can always call yourself as an entrepreneur. But it's more of like in the YouTubing, what is the content that you're putting? That's what is very important, right? For example, there's somebody called Yummy Tummy Aarti. So she is a active YouTuber, blogger, vlogger, all of that. And she has a business through it as well. She has a revenue stream through that particular vertical. She is launching products and services through her YouTube channel. So I think she's as much as an entrepreneur as all of us. So Andamari, what is that one particular vertical that you are trying to focus through your channel and build your business upon? Then I think if you're solving a problem, I think you're an entrepreneur.
Okay, the last question, Mr. Ramadas. After seeing your presentation, he is very eager to become an entrepreneur. He is asking, from your experience, can you suggest a promising field? He has not yet chosen his field. Probably you are in this entrepreneurship journey for the last 4 years. Any promising field you can suggest to Mr. Ramdas?
Okay, so actually in this question you shouldn't ask to anybody. Because of this question only many people will get misled. Okay, so this is like, I remember when I finished my 12th standard, my mom took me to a couple of my relatives and she said, what is the best field in engineering? So this, I leave it to your passion. What I like or love, you will not like or love. And what is promising today might not be promising tomorrow, right? So you would have seen the job curve, like how different it has become right now. So there is nothing like this is a promising field. See, there are different sectors. There is an education sector, there is an agriculture sector, food beverage sector. So there are so many sectors. First, you identify what you are passionate about. Are you passionate about agriculture? Are you passionate about education, social welfare, whatever? First of all, you go and attach yourself first to what you are passionate about. There, if you find the trending problems, because problem of yesterday is not same as problem of today, right? So appo inniki enna problem? Agriculture la inniki what's the problem that is trending? Other ninga, if you focus itself, I think you will not be obsolete. You will keep growing, and that will become a very, very promising scope.
Thank you, madam. With this, I think we come to the conclusion of the webinar. It is a grand success. Initially, we were a little worried when we announced on the entrepreneurship. I think I explained on this topic when I introduced you, but it became highly successful. I think today, at least you have inspired some of the youngsters, and we can expect them to come to entrepreneurship probably in the coming years. I wish you all the best. Both your ventures will become highly successful. And then the most important portion is the motivation. The motivation you give is so extraordinary. You can see in the chat box yourself so much appreciation to your initiative. At the young age, you took such a high risk and then came to a business where normally software engineers may not venture into. So definitely a new innovative initiative. We really appreciate and we thank you for taking time and for the wonderful presentation you have done. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. They can reach out to any time to me through you. So I'll be willing to help for your college students. So let this not be one session. So after that, if they need any help in terms of entrepreneurship or skill development, I'm always happy to help your college. So thank you so much, sir, for having me.
Thank you. Dear participants, this is the second webinar in our series. You can do it. Are you ready? Actually, it is technical as well as a motivational type of webinar. We are going to organize a series at least for the next 1 week, 1.5 weeks. You are going to see many webinars by very highly qualified, eminent persons who have achieved so much. Tomorrow, the topic is what is success? What is success? Dr. Madhupur sir is a highly acclaimed academician. Actually, he is the advisor, general counsel, executive committee member of NAC. It's very famous. All of you know that. National Assessment and Accreditation Council. It is in Bangalore. He writes continuously, and then he is an excellent speaker. I met him recently. I requested him. He immediately accepted. So I hope to see all of you for tomorrow's webinar, What is Success? Definitely, this will be inspiring. Then continuous webinars we are going to organize for the benefit of all of you. So I wish you all the best. Thanks for joining, and we will continue with this journey. Thank you.
இங்கேதான் அன்பு கிடைத்தது, பண்பு கிடைத்தது, நட்பு கிடைத்தது, கனவு கிடைத்தது நம் ஈஸ்வர் கல்லூரி. இங்கேதான் தெளிவு கிடைத்தது, அறிவு கிடைத்தது, அறமும் கிடைத்தது, அனைத்தும் கிடைத்தது நம் ஈஸ்வர் கல்லூரி. பசுமை வண்ணம் கொண்ட சூழலிலே மயில்கள் கொண்ட எம் கல்லூரியே, ஒற்றுமைக்கும் தேசிய கொடியும் இங்கே நம் ஈஸ்வர் கல்லூரியே. அக்கறை கொண்ட நிர்வாகம் அது எங்கள் உத்வேகம், ஆசிரியர்கள் எல்லோரும் வெற்றிகளின் அஸ்திவாரம். ஆதவன் இல்லாமல் விடியல் ஏது, பாதைகள் இல்லாமல் பயணம் ஏது, கேள்விகள் இல்லாமல் விடைகள் ஏது, ஈஸ்வர் கல்லூரி இல்லாமல் இன்பம் ஏது. கம்யூனிட்டி சென்டர், ஓப்பனர் தியேட்டர், அங்கே உலகம் கற்றுக்கொள்வோமே. நம் காலேஜின் பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அது என்றும் சூப்பர், அங்கே வேலையும் பெற்றுக்கொள்வோமே. 4 ஆண்டுகளே என்றாலும் ஒரு குடும்பம் போல வாழ்ந்திடுவோம். 40 ஆண்டுகள் கடந்த பின்னும் நம் கல்லூரி நாட்களை போற்றிடுவோம். இந்த நிலையை நாங்கள் அடைந்தாலும், வாழ்வில் உயர பறந்தாலும், மறவோம் மறவோம் ஒரு நாளும் நாங்கள் ஈஸ்வரில் பயின்ற நாட்களை. ஈஸ்வர் கல்லூரி வாழ்க்கை கற்று தந்த பாடம், காலம் எல்லாம் கண்ணில் நிழலாடும். ஆதவன் இல்லாமல் விடியல் ஏது, பாதைகள் இல்லாமல் பயணம் ஏது, கேள்விகள் இல்லாமல் விடைகள் ஏது, ஈஸ்வர் கல்லூரி